Well, ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. We're festive for you.
We are. Even though there's no snow on the ground here in Minneapolis, it's like
been
a
unseasonably
phenomenon.
warm.
Yeah, but I'll take it any day.
Me too.
I know there are some people that are like, oh my gosh, like I want to ski, I want to snowmobile, what have you.
I want to lay out.
Or I just want a white
It's not
Christmas. I am totally fine with no white Christmas, but that's just us.
Yeah.
Anyway, we thought we would be a little bit festive for you all. And then when Lisa put on her hat, I was like, oh my gosh, total Hermie from Rudolph.
Do you agree? Do you think I look like Hermie from Rudolph?
Chat in the chat window if you think so. We want to know.
We want to know.
But anyway, yeah, we're excited that the holidays are upon us, even though sometimes it kind of doesn't feel like that. And we hope that you are all having a somewhat stress-free or stress-managed holidays, because I feel like sometimes Christmas can just be stressful as opposed to what it was intended to be. And
just like connecting.
Yeah,
and
celebration,
and yeah.
A carryover, hopefully, of Thanksgiving and gratitude. And all of that good stuff, being with family. That's what it's kind of about for my family. I think we've kind of transitioned from all of the just like, you have to give a billion gifts to
eggnog.
Let's hang out. I don't know. Yeah, a little
Hershey
bit.
Pie.
No, what's Hershey Pie?
It's like the best.
That sounds
pie
sinful.
ever.
No, I had never heard of it, and I don't ever need it.
Holiday parties, cocktails.
Yeah.
I mean, cocktail weenies.
Snickerdoodles. The thing that we have in my family that's kind of a tradition are these Ritz crackers with peanut butter in the middle, and then they're smothered like with white chocolate.
Oh yeah, those are dangerous.
I know. I'm not making any of those.
Like, I'm not having. So part of the reason, I mean, we like to do these webinars to just keep you, to give you tips and tools for healthy living, for body redesign. And this, since this is is that better? Just adjust that a little bit. So it's just a little too much. Make sure you grab your party water. Right? Party water is BRD approved. So anytime you're having a webinar, anytime we're having a webinar, we love to if you have a party water with us. What do you think of the pastry?
It's really good. It's really good.
Which is like French for grapefruit or something.
Oh, fancy. So you can put that in a champagne glass and nobody will know any different.
Right. Okay. So so there's a few things we want to just keep this short and sweet per usual. Simple is the best. We're going to go over the rules really quickly, and then we want to talk specifically about tips for holiday events, holiday parties. How can you be healthy through the holidays? So I just want to overview 5 rules, right? Mm-hmm. Rule number 1 is eat protein and vegetables. That's part of our body redesign program. Rule number 2 is
eat carbs sparingly.
Sparingly.
So when you think about your plate at the holiday meal, peruse the line if it's kind of like a potluck style, and see where there are protein options and vegetable options, and try to load your plate with those. And then grab like a little bit, a couple like little spoonfuls of some, carb, maybe heavy, traditional fare, something that you just truly enjoy and you would love to have. And that's your 80-20% plate.
Yeah, absolutely. The third rule is keep meal planning simple. So especially during the holidays, I don't have time to create a bunch of food at the beginning of the week. I'm a lot busier than I usually am. So what I tend to do is I'll just make I'll make a big pot of chili. I have chili, by the way.
Oh, you do?
I do have chili right now, yeah.
I feel bad, though, because you never grabbed the chili I had for you. I know. But I'll take your chili.
The week before, I made meatloaf, actually. I made this really delicious meatloaf. And then I'm by myself, so I made a huge recipe, and I formed the meatloaf and put it in the crock pot. Crock-pot is keep meal planning simple. Totally. There's so many healthy crock-pot recipes where you can just put some stuff in the crock-pot. So I mixed all this meatloaf recipe up, and then I formed it and put it in the crock-pot and left it all day. Awesome. And then but then I took the other one and I put it in the freezer
Oh, okay.
So
Cool.
now like next week or the week after, and I'm like, okay, I don't even have to do the whole meatloaf thing again. I just pull it out of the freezer and I stick the whole frozen log of meatloaf in the crock pot.
Yeah.
And leave it. Log. That makes it sound not so appealing, but it's deliciousness. It is really good. And like I'll just find one recipe that I kind of make, and then I really I know there's a lot of holiday parties and this and that. We are going to give you some tips and tools for how you can do body redesign. So we'll just do rule number 4, which is keep your workout short and simple. This is so great during the holidays. Check out Body Redesign online. We've got tons of short workouts. If you buy our Body Redesign Jumpstart Plus Workouts program, you can do the workouts with us.
And that's fun. I've been working out with us over the last week or 2. Yeah, so I started a new job. So my schedule, you know, I'm trying to like put my best foot forward and get into the office early, and I haven't had the luxury of going to the gym or to a yoga class for the longer periods of time. So I've just been like punching it out, 10-minute HIIT style workouts with us, and super fun. I can see why my sister loves it. Yeah.
Well, so I was in Washington, D.C. over the weekend, and I do not run. I hate running. But when I'm in a new city, and it was 60 degrees, when I'm in a new city and it's warm, I'll put on my running shoes. So I did put on my running shoes, and I went like half a mile and ended up in front of this botanical gardens, which was right over by the Capitol. We were like right in Washington, D.C. It was so cool. So this botanical gardens was beautiful, and I just found a bench.
Yeah.
And I did 40 jump. No, what did I do? I did. I'm like, wait, no, what did I do? I didn't do 40 box jumps. I did 10 box jumps.
Yeah.
40 is a lot. I did 10 box jumps. I jumped up and down off the bench 10 times. I did 20 push-ups off the bench. I did 30 fast legs on each side. And then I did 40 tricep dips. And I did it 5 times through. It took me about 12 minutes. And then I just kind of did the, jog/walk because I wanted to look at stuff a little more. So I kind of jogged out and I didn't really jog back, but it was literally like that. I was sore. I was sore. Like later on that day, I was like, wow, those box jumps really got me, because I ended up doing 50 box jumps total, right?
And didn't you just feel like you were more energetic throughout the day?
Yeah, I just
workouts.
I just love the short workouts. It's so great. The 5th rule is relax the rules one day a week. So, don't be a stickler about like, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. One of the things that we want to spend more time chatting with you guys about is just mindset in general. And so this idea or this belief that like, I have to do this, I have to stick with this, this is what I can eat, this is what I can't eat. Especially, we're going to like move right into talking about how to successfully navigate the holidays. And one of the biggest ways to successfully navigate the holidays, I believe, is when you go to a holiday party, before you even go to the party, like knowing where you're at, knowing where you're going to indulge, where you're not going to indulge. If you have 3 holiday parties in a week, you don't need to indulge at every holiday party. Just figure out the one that's going to be the most fun, the one that's going to have the best food, the one that's, that.
Don't you hate when like sometimes you waste your indulgence on something that you're like, oh, it wasn't even really that great.
It's because it wasn't like thoughtfully planned out. Like I didn't go into the experience thinking, okay, tonight I'm going to have 1 glass of wine at this party, and I'm going to, if they have like a meat plate and a cheese plate, I'm going to have some meat and cheese. I'm going to skip the crackers. I'm going to skip the snacks, the goodies. I'm not going to have that. So meat, cheese, and a glass of wine is my treat. And I decide before I even go into the party that that's what I'm going to do. For example, this week, I've got a few different things. And one thing is happening on Sunday is my friend Lori Allen is having Christmas dinner.
Oh, is she good?
And hostess? Oh yeah, it's like
hostess with mostess.
So I'm like, screw the other parties.
Yeah,
doesn't even matter. I'm like, I already decided. Like I'm on track. I'm on plan. And then
and that'll be your relaxed.
And that'll be event. my relax event. Yeah. So. And when you decide, like it's so empowering, and you're taking such control when you're like, this is what I'm going to do because this is what feels good. And then you don't get to a party and someone's like, oh, you're not drinking, or
have another.
Yeah. And you're just
beer.
Like, yeah. And you're just wine. Like, hey, I'm perfect. I'm good. I have. What?
I don't know if a lot of people can get away with saying, I'm perfect.
I'm perfect.
No, I'm choosing to have one glass tonight.
Yeah. And it's like, instead of like, oh, I can't, I'm on this thing. You know how many people say, oh, I can't, I'm on this diet.
Yeah.
Or I'm really trying to watch it. What are you trying to watch? You'd like, oh, I really want to feel good. I really want to be healthy. That's what I'm like, I'm living in this healthy body and I want to feel amazing in this body. So I'm trying to like watch it and not eat that. Well, I don't really need to watch it because that stuff doesn't make me feel great. And so I enjoy it. I think it's not even in moderation. I just enjoy a couple tastes.
Totally.
I have gotten so good. Let's just like brag on myself for a minute. I've gotten so good at being able to just enjoy a little bit, which has never been the case for me before.
Mm-hmm.
This huge thing, like Raw introduced me to the isogenics products, and I started using isogenics and using the cleanse and the ionics and doing the shakes. I don't even do them as much as you do. Like I do the shakes a little bit, but it's really offered me this beautiful space of balance where I can take a little taste of something and I'm like, oh, that was delicious. But realize that like eating more of it is not going to satiate me. That really what I wanted was just that little taste.
Yeah. You know, when I was training for fitness competitions and I was really diligent, sometimes even the smell of something would be enough. But yeah, I'm pretty good too, just being able to like have a bite or two and I'm feeling good. Like I tasted it, but I don't need to like have that grief or that guilt after shoving it all in my mouth. And so I think it's just being really conscious and aware. And like Lisa said, like strategizing before you go into a scenario where, you know, there might be some temptations and coming up with your game plan. It's like planning for anything.
Yeah. So I've a girl I'm working with that is going through the challenge right now, Priya. Priya. And I texted her and asked how her day went. And she texted me back and said, oh, I cheated at a holiday party. And then she said, I need to work on my willpower. So what do you think about that? Because I'm interested, like, what do you think about the idea of like, I have to have more willpower?
That's a good question.
Because I feel like there's that constriction around willpower again. Like I have to follow this, or there's something in the mindset, what you're thinking about, like what is allowed versus what isn't allowed. And it's almost like, oh, well, that's not allowed. And it makes it more enticing kind of.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Like, I feel like, because people will say that, like, you have such great willpower. And I think, no, I'm actually doing what I want to do. So I think it's really about shifting your neural pathways, like shifting your train of thinking, so that what I really want to do is I really want to eat well. What I really want, it's like people's like, I don't like eating healthy, but what I really want to do is I really want to feel good. I really want to feel healthy. I really want to love my body. I really want to wake up every morning and be like,
totally,
and I know that there are certain practices that align me with those feelings. And so those practices then, for me, it's not as much discipline. It's not as much willpower as it is a remembering.
Yeah, it's almost like a recall, right? So you have so many times gone through the thought patterns and then you've taken action based on those thought patterns that now it's not even willpower, like it's not even exercise. Like in the corporate environment that I live in, people bring in donuts. I don't even think about it. Like, I'm just like, no.
Oh, I know. And then there's people like, oh my gosh, I barely made it through the day.
Yeah.
There were donuts out and all I wanted to do was grab it. Yeah. And you just walk past.
I don't even think about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do think that, maybe it's a shift, and it's just maybe changing some of the habits of your thought patterns as well as just your actions, right? So if there are donuts, I never know if these donuts are going to come around again. I think there's this kind of scarcity thought process that people put themselves in. And I know if I ever wanted a donut, I could just walk down the street to Bogart's and grab a donut.
Yeah.
So I don't even really...
And those are probably way better than the ones that come into the office anyway.
For sure. I saw somebody with a box of Krispy Kremes the other day, and I was like,
Oh, really? I love Krispy Kremes. Do you not? You don't like Krispy Kremes?
They aren't even on my list.
Oh, okay.
Like if I were going to indulge in a dessert that I love, it's going to be like a solid carrot cake. And that's just my thing, carrot cake. So I don't even look at the donuts and the bars and the brownies. I don't know. That's just me. So
Awesome.
find your one indulgence and then just keep, I think it is though. It's just exercising that thought process of I love myself. I love the way I feel when I eat the food that makes me feel good. I don't love the way that donuts make me feel because I have this guilt complex. I feel like I don't have enough willpower, and those are the thoughts that lead you down that dark path. Whereas like I am strong, I can do this. I love like feeding myself food that's going to make me feel good. That's going to help me be more energetic and better.
So when you're at a holiday party, and let's say there's a huge spread, what you want to, and you're hungry, you got to have a little bite to eat. First of all, if you know you're going to a holiday party, eat before you go.
Totally. I do not go hungry.
And then it's like me at the grocery store. I always forget. And then I go to the grocery store hungry. And I have to open a jar of pickles. Go down the aisle.
We all have our things.
Grab grapes and start eating grapes.
Oh, really?
So like by the time I've gotten to the checkout, they're like, half a jar of pickles is gone. And I'm like, oh, this used to be grapes.
And that's why
used to be cherry tomatoes.
That's why I do 2 shakes a day. And that's why I have like bars or nuts on hand, is so that I don't go down the crash course.
Sure that
I know mine's just lopsided anyway.
I don't lose my quirkiness to my hat there.
Do we have any questions for people that are viewing? Feel free to chat in the chat window below.
Yeah. So I would say like make sure you eat if you haven't had a chance to eat. I will look. Meat and cheese are big for me, and cheese is fat. It's not like sometimes you compromise. This is the other thing that's huge. Sometimes you compromise and you do eat something that's not the best option, but it's better than. And people like a lot of people are like, well, the thing that I'm supposed to eat isn't here, so I'm just going to go off the deep end and have all this other stuff instead. Instead of saying, well, okay, here I am. What is the what's the best option here? And there's always, there's usually like a meat plate. There's usually cheese. There's usually a few things.
Vegetable. Vegetable options.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Vegetables and hummus is more popular at parties than vegetable and dip. Try not to get crazy with the dip, you know? So looking and making a choice based off of that, that is maybe not the best thing, but better than, instead of going, well, throw it to the wind and just go, I'm just going to fill up my plate with cookies then.
Remember when we were talking about the concept of doing a show around which is better? Cheese or brownie, which is better?
Cheese.
Totally.
I mean, brownie might taste better, but cheese.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Like that. It's fat, but it's got, it's got nutrients in it. It's better for you. It's better for your system. Not as much. Well, it doesn't have sugar compared to a brownie and stuff.
Right. I think it's just being conscious, serving what's available to you. I know that when we were doing the buffets in Costa Rica, even though most of the options were healthy, we would like sort of do the scan. Okay, like what are my options? What am I going to go to? What am I going to load my plate up with? And then what am I going to, indulge in and enjoy a little bit of, because maybe it's a Costa Rican specialty or something that I've just never had before.
Those cheese balls.
Yeah.
Is that what you were thinking when you said that?
Yeah, for sure.
Because those are so good. I might have eaten a few of those.
But that's okay.
But I know, and I didn't feel bad about it.
Protein and vegetables.
No, I know. I didn't feel bad about it either. So
I loved every second of it.
It was like popping those things in my mouth. So, I mean, you can see here, I think that both of us really enjoy food. We love to eat. But we have also like what we bring to the table with how we eat and the food that we take into our body is this idea that I want to feel good, and I know what helps me feel good. I know what feels like what fuels my body in a way that and supports my body in a way that I can be happy in it. And the instant gratification or thinking you'll feel happy in the moment of overindulging at a holiday party, what's going to happen is it's going to build this negative spiral in your life where what can happen for a lot of people is just like, well, fine, I'm just going to do this through the holidays and start over January 1st. and you get to start over every day. Every day is a new day.
Totally.
So don't like just say, oh, I'm just going to screw it and I'm just going to wait until
that
the New Year's resolution.
looming New Year's. Like,
and the truth is like that, that doesn't work for people because they're really like, it's really, they're giving themselves permission to just feel bad about themselves, and then they're going to try to change it all at one time.
Start. It's
start today.
Yeah.
Start by helping yourself feel a little bit better each day, and each day you make a great choice, you feel a little bit better, and then you make another great choice and you feel a little better and a little better, and it builds on itself. And while you're feeling better, what's happening is your body is releasing what you don't need, and you're releasing extra weight, you're releasing fat, you're letting go, and you're letting go of it so effortlessly. I will fight over that. Like, I don't think it needs to be a struggle to lose weight. I don't think it needs to be a struggle to find a body you love, because it's really about shifting the thinking patterns that you have. And when you think it's going to be a struggle, when you think it's going to be hard, when you think I can't eat any of the things that I love to eat, how are you going to have a different experience? So this season, I love going to holiday parties, not to eat food and not to drink, but to connect, to have great conversations,
right.
And
just even seeing your energy while you were in DC, I was just like, oh my God, like, you can just tell that you're fueling your body and you feel amazing because you can be there completely for those girls and bond with them and just be so excited about being in this new space. You were like, you were a kid along with them. And I think a lot of people struggle with that energy level, probably because of so much, up here in terms of what they're saying to themselves. But you can make that shift. And I want to say, too, that I think sometimes a difficulty that can come along with someone's journey could be their environment. And the people and the things around them. Find a way to insulate yourself, and then know that if you join us on Body Redesign, we have our Facebook community. We are here for you.
It's private. It's positive.
And whatever you need, and just start to form this new positive community, and you'll be amazed by how quickly it expands and grows, and how many people you find either on Facebook or locally that you can connect with. And all of a sudden, that maybe negative environment or community or place where you feel like you are kind of stuck today will start to dissolve. And I think sometimes you have to make some hard decisions about the people and the places that you are in life, but start to make that shift and start chipping away at it, and don't wait until, the New Year's, and don't wait, I guess, for somebody's permission. Own it and take control of your life and your body. And we're excited to have an amazing 2016. If I look back on 2015, it was probably like one of the most epic years. We traveled to LA, we went to Croatia, we went to Costa Rica.
I went to Portland.
You've been everywhere. Washington, you've conquered huge goals in your mission to help girls. To help end sex trafficking, your videos. You turned 40.
I turned 40, and I feel the best I've ever felt in my body ever.
And that was a huge shift for you, because we were in Croatia, and you were like, I'm 40. Getting old.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, you're not. No. And now look at you. You're like super young. You're like a kid.
When I was in Washington, D.C. over the weekend with a bunch of girls, high school girls, were doing some empowerment work, and in the workshop I think I said something or whatever, and I was like, I'm 40, and they were just like, what? No, what? They were going crazy.
What an impression you're leaving on them, though, because then they won't even think like 40 is old.
I was like, yep, keep it coming.
You're the role model.
Tell me how young I seem. Tell me how young. They're like, what? No, you're not. Anyway, so part of that is not part of that. I'm going to give a little bit more credit to that. A lot of that is, it is like what I practice thinking about. It's how I start my day, and how I feel my body. So practicing the body redesign lifestyle is so much, the 5 rules are, the related to food and related to how you move your body. But we want to continue to have this conversation about we want people that are coming into our program to really get that, this is not this is not a diet, it's a lifestyle. And part of the lifestyle is really bringing this attitude of I can do anything. I can live in my dream body. I can have my dream life. I can be healthy in relationships. I can be healthy in my eating. That all of that impacts your body, right?
Totally.
Did we have any questions?
Nope.
Okay.
Everybody has all of the answers. No, I'm just kidding. I think we've just covered it
We
so
offer
thoroughly.
all of the answers to you. There are no questions
So
left.
should we do one more party water cheers?
Well,
And
this is to you and also to if you would like to get on board with us, Body Redesign Jumpstart Plus workouts or the Body Redesign 360-degree program. Yep. Okay. And I was like, did we change the title to that? We haven't.
No, we haven't.
Okay. We're thinking about it, right?
Maybe.
Both of those you get a discount on if you enter BRD Webinar, capital B, capital R, capital D.
Lowercase webinar.
Lowercase webinar.
All one word.
All one word. So you can enter that for a discount. That's our gift to you. We'd love to see you in our program. We'd love to see you in our Facebook community. There's nothing that feels better than supporting you and serving you in finding a body that you love.
Cheers!
So here's to your best body.
Yes.
It's on the way.
And happy holidays to you all.
We'll see you probably maybe are we going to see them before the new year?
I don't know.
We might or we might not. Just
this might be the closeout.
make sure you're signed up on our email list so that you get updates and stuff. So, and
bye.
Bye. And bye.